Good morning.
Good morning. How are
Good
you?
morning. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning, Maria. I have my coffee. I'm so ready to chat with you.
You're so ready to chat?
I am.
So, hi, this is Maria Quattrone with Be The Solution. And today I am so excited to talk with my friend and colleague, Debra Beagle from the partner with Gary Ashton at the Gary Ashton Real Estate Group in Nashville, woohoo, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes, welcome, Debra. So excited.
Thank you. Great.
How are you?
I'm doing great. And so this morning, I think we're going to talk about real estate and real estate agents, right? How to be the best.
How to be the best. You know it.
Yeah.
You are.
So,
you live it.
We're in Nashville. We have close to 150 agents. And we have, even this month, we've brought 10 new agents over to our brokerage. And the question I get asked all the time and that people want to know is, what does it take to be a really great, successful real estate agent? And, in our business, as we continue to evolve, especially this year with COVID, it's been kind of crazy. Everything's kind of changing. We're doing a lot of virtual stuff. You guys, we talked about this. We're selling more houses, just doing FaceTime and virtual showings that people all over the country, at least for our market, are moving to our area. And they're writing offers without actually seeing the houses.
Really?
So they're going and they're doing that, and they're really relying on a good agent. A lot of people can find the houses online. They're looking online, they can find them, but they really need that expert to navigate through the process. And COVID, like I said, while it's been so interesting because a lot of people got laid off, or, and they were top producers in a different field, top in their business and sales, or, this has given the opportunity to people to really think about what it is they want to do with their lives as far as working. So being a great agent, and is this field the right field for you? In our market, I look at it, you've got to have grit. We talk about that all the time. You've got to be self-motivated. You've got to be one of those people that can structure your day and gets up and sets about the day being very intentional. Because if you're coming from a job where it's 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, clocking in, clocking out, it's very secure. You've got that W-2, you got that paycheck. It's coming every week or 2 weeks on a regular basis. When you become a realtor, there's no regular paycheck. You earn, but the other great thing about it is there's no ceiling with it. So someone coming into real estate really has to have that entrepreneurial mindset. They have to be self-motivated. They have to be committed to getting up every day and working this as a business and a career. So how do you do that? You get your training, you find a great brokerage that has really awesome training and development and support, mentoring and resources. So you get your license, you get trained, you find a great brokerage, but then it really comes back to the agent. I mean, they have to be intentional. Our brokerage, we're one of the number one team in RE/MAX in the world. And
in the world.
In the world. So,
so Deborah, one second. How do you spot talent?
How do I spot talent?
Yeah.
Well, I really look kind of at work history and how they have handled situations, because real estate, it's not just about getting in the car and driving around and seeing houses. I mean, it truly is. You've got to be a great project manager. You've got to manage your client, the other agent, the seller or the buyer on the other side, the lenders, the title companies, the home inspectors. You've got a lot of people to manage. So I look for people that can work in a collaborative team environment and can lead, and that are solution oriented. In our business, the number one thing I think is truly listening to the other side, listening to your client, educating your client, and communicating. People need to pick up the phone, talk. I see this all the time because it's the lack of clarity in working through contracts and through the process and missteps in communication. You haven't set expectations with the client of what is expected through the process. So agents that I'm looking for and that I can spot that are going to be super successful in this business are people that have empathy, can put themselves in the other side's shoes, look for solutions and everybody wants to feel like they have a win. So in real estate, when you're working through a contract negotiation or something, you have to be strategic, and you always have to try to present to whatever side you're talking to that they're getting a win out of something. But again, looking for talent and looking for people that can do well in real estate. If you're a great project manager, also, in real estate, the client, the consumer, when they get into a real estate transaction, it's their biggest purchase of their life. And normal people in a real estate transaction, or normal people are super sweet, super happy, super nice. You put them in a stressful situation, and stress causes people to either shut down, and then it's very hard to get information from and make decisions, or they get very stressful and they don't know what to do. So emotions are very high. So a good realtor can listen, empathize, stay positive. Our market, we're having multiple offers. You're losing houses if you're not getting in there and submitting and presenting the best offer. So an agent, in addition to that, is having to keep everybody positive. We're going to find the right house, and then being a good negotiator. So again, how do you be a good negotiator? You look at all the sides and see what is important to everybody. So you craft an offer that is going to appeal to the seller, but still also feeling like a win for the buyer. But the win in our market with multiple offers and low inventory is getting the house.
So is that across all price points?
Pretty much everything under 600,000 in our market. Now the luxury market is still moving for us. We have a lot of people moving here from other parts of the country.
Where do you see them coming from?
The East Coast.
Up
New York,
where we are.
yeah, New York, New Jersey, Philly, California, a lot coming from California. Tennessee is it's a state with no income tax. So it's very attractive, which California, I think they're at 52% income tax, which is just unbelievable. And then their property tax, our property taxes are a little under 1%. So it's very, very affordable in Tennessee. But getting back to the best agent, I mean, they can handle a lot of emotions, keep everybody focused, be solution oriented, because in real estate, through the process, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. So you have to have great resources around you to help answer questions and maneuver the process as an agent. And then the agent, again, has to be a self-starter. They have to treat this as a career and be very intentional. And then it is being very intentional with consistency. It's working as a realtor, we work every day.
We work every day. So Debra,
but we control that. We control our day and
our schedule.
And I have a lot of agents on our team that they have young children, and they're top six-figure producers. So
when they come into your group, Debra, and say, let's talk about somebody maybe transitioning from another field. And they were a great salesperson in that particular field, software for maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so they come into your system, and how quickly can they be up and running and producing and selling real estate?
Ours are they're coming. Our training boot camp is in 2 weeks. Going a little bit into the third week, but we actually generate business and clients and opportunities for our agents at the brokerage level. So when they come in and they go through training, they start training, they are partnered with a mentor, and they start actually taking calls and answering and working with clients. And we have
right away.
Right. Oh, within three weeks, but they are partnered with a top producing agent that's their mentor. So, and then they have our training director and our sales director, and they just start working with clients right away. And I mean, we had some last month that they've already written 2 and 3 contracts. So, I mean, with our brokerage and system, we're having, I mean, they're writing contracts within their first 30 days, 30 to 40 days, which is not an industry average. And then they're having closings within their first 60 days.
So you're creating opportunity for them for the win.
Those that want to work, those that want to do and work and make the phone calls. And again, right now, the consumer wants someone who's responsive, someone who provides additional information and value that they can't find on the internet. So that agent that comes to us, you know, needs to want to educate themselves and be the best in the business.
So would you say right now that it's even more important, communication needs to be over the top?
It has to be over the top. That's what consumers want, and they want it now. And in our market with the low inventory and the multiple offers, I mean, you have to be right on top of it, responsive and communicative. That's the other one. And there's and you have to be able to talk on the phone. That's another one. I think people have, gone to texting quite a bit, which a lot of consumers do want texting, but there's so much confusion in just texting. It's hard to get it, it's quicker to pick up the phone and then just have the conversation and assure the client, this is what's happening, this is what's going to happen, versus just text.
So the text is sometimes a form of being not comfortable with confrontation in a conflict in a respectful, mature, and caring manner.
That is
so people. So people are hiding behind that.
They are, and I think not even just with clients, but agent to agent.
Everybody, the world.
Everybody. It's like so much easier to text, and I think that's a. Sometimes you just have to pick up the phone.
I think that's what separates the best people, or the people that can have those hard conversations with the client and managing the expectation up front. I think is really.
And that's the big one. And setting the stage, I talk about that a lot. Like right when you start working with someone, this is how the process is going to go over the next 8 weeks. They're probably going to forget what you said, but they might remember it when you remind them of it later. Then it's like, oh yeah, we did talk about that. So, but it is, the whole process of when we get under contract until they actually move into the house or move out of the house and get their check or get their money in their account. Because the things have changed now. We're going, everything's being wired. What are timer wire cutoffs? When does seller get their proceeds? We're in a split close state. So people can close at different locations, but you can't disperse funds till you have everybody signed warranty deed together in one spot.
And they need the seller, since they're not coming to closing, need to be able to understand what that means, right?
And swapping the documents and the delays and wait till the wires can go out, and then the whole week of closing too. And right now in our market as well, appraisals are taking a lot longer than normal.
They're overloaded.
They're overloaded. It is causing appraisal delays. We've dealt with 6 low appraisals this past week. And that is a big hurdle. Having a good agent that can work through a low appraisal and save the deal in a low inventory market it is worth their weight in gold. And our agents this week were doing that. So I teach a class on handling low appraisals too. But
so are you getting them? They've been able to get them changed, or?
These 5 that we did this past week, no, we submitted current comps that the appraiser didn't see to the lender to submit back to the appraiser for review. And the appraiser refused to make the change, and the appraisal stuck. So we had to find a way to bridge the gap, or were we going to terminate the deals? In all cases, we actually found a way to bridge the gap. So we didn't have to terminate.
When your inventory is as low as it is, are you looking at 2 or 3 months of inventory at this point?
In some price point, under 350, we're down to less than 30 days of inventory. It's crazy. Yeah.
Thanks.
And under 2 months of inventory up to probably 500, 550. Yeah.
So it's really low in your market.
Very low.
It's
And
interesting, Deborah, because I see you talk to people like you. We're friends with people all over the country and North America, and every market's different.
Yep.
But the buyers and sellers are still the same.
They are. And it sounds like it. Everybody I talk to, it sounds like the, the buyers and the sellers, they want the best service. And, and I think they want smooth too. They really want as little hiccups as possible, but with our market and just the industry as a whole, it's a process that is, there's a lot of areas in the process that cause stress. And having a great agent that's a great project manager, really, and can coordinate everything and handhold you through the process, to help make it smooth and get it to the closing table, because ultimately that's what everybody wants. So those agents that can do that, again, they're resourceful, they're smart, they think, they're solution oriented, they can project manage. Those are some of the, and stay positive through the whole process.
I think too, buyers and sellers want the market experts these days. And you are the market expert in your market, your company. So that comes into play now. I think the days of just hiring your friend because they're your friend who maybe do a couple transactions a year are probably over. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, our brokerage is, everyone that is in the brokerage, this is their career. This is full time. They want to work. And, we don't have anybody that just parks.
No, because that doesn't meet
that's one thing. I mean,
your criteria.
Education, we look for talent and that wants to provide the highest level of service and truly cares about the client. So, and that's part of our hiring process when we hire agents to our brokerage, that we go through and look, how they communicate. I look at how they can write an email, how they present themselves in video form and over the phone. They have to submit all of this stuff to us, and then we all look at the video and look at their email and their information, and then we bring them in to meet with them, regardless if they're an agent in another brokerage. And if they're an existing agent, I do look at their, how they submit an offer, and just because it's all about servicing the client and being the best of the best. And so that's what we look for out there.
So you have them submit the video. So that that they're going to do the videos.
Yes, because Gary, I mean, that's very important. And right now too, through COVID, and you're having to do FaceTime and you're having to do virtual showings, you're having to communicate via video, and not be fearful of the camera, because you'd be surprised how many people are fearful of the camera. So,
well, we know that video is where you build your brand and your authority in the market.
Yeah.
So being able to do that.
The consumer wants to see the homes and wants you to have you show them to them too, if they're not able to be there in person. So you just have to be able to communicate in multiple formats.
Right, it's all about being nimble and adapting to what the current environment is.
Yeah.
So
and being very tech forward, that's the other thing I look for in agents that join our brokerage, is that they're collaborative, they can work with others, use their resources, and that they're able to pivot, because our market, I mean, we didn't miss a beat in March. We were essential services. So when COVID hit, we had a lot of tech and systems in place already to continue to work. So, and we had our biggest month in our company's history last month. So
the biggest month
ever.
Wow.
Most closings we had ever had in a month prior to last month was 210. And we had I think 252 last
Congratulations,
month. So that was a huge increase for us. And it just shows that our agents are really out there working. But interest rates are super low right now too. They're down, under 3%. So, and August is still crazy right now too. I think
it's so
10 for August. on the books. So
that's pretty exciting.
yeah.
How do you manage that increase?
We have a lot of support staff, and everybody's trying to stay calm. And you know, we have people from every department are helping every department, and you know, I said just hang in there. Because I think we closed of the 200, we closed 110 last week. So, and I think like 90 some of it was Wednesday, Thursday.
So almost half of it was the last week of the month.
It was crazy. And I know. So I just, you know, you got to keep everybody just calm and find solutions. And it was kind of funny because we had one last week, and they weren't going to close because the seller took their Ring doorbell. This is kind of funny. Nobody thinks to think about the Ring doorbell, but they saw the Ring doorbell was there. So they disconnected the Ring doorbell and took it and didn't put a doorbell back. And the buyer wasn't going to close because of the doorbell. So we ordered a Ring doorbell from Amazon, had it shipped to the house, and sent the receipt to the buyer, and they closed.
Yes, so, called being the solution.
Yeah.
Right. It's all about solution.
Yeah, and, you know, nobody thought they didn't think about telling the seller not to take their Ring doorbell. Nobody had a conversation about the Ring doorbell.
It is attached.
It is attached. But it was something they bought and they added on. And it's kind of, I think they thought of it like their TV on the wall. In our state, you can take the TV, but the mount stays. So they
same.
Yeah. So they didn't think about the Ring doorbell. Kind of funny, but anyway.
Well, you know, it's like
involved. Everybody's over a Ring doorbell, $99 Ring doorbell.
Yeah, we're not going to let the deal die for that.
That is correct.
That's instead of your champagne you're going to get a Ring doorbell.
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
No, so it's interesting because you probably talk to a lot of agents because that's what you do, right? Bringing on new people.
We have 10 right now.
Onboarding
right now. Yeah. That are all from different industries, which not all, I think there's 5 in there from different industries that are starting that I'm super excited about because they have the makings to be amazing agents. So it'll be exciting to see.
So in your past over the years, you've seen lots of different people enter the industry. What are some of the best agents? Where are they coming from? What industries do you see where they're able just to dive right in?
So I have 3 police officers from last year. They left the police force, I think around September, the 3 of them came over. One was actually sheriff, female. And then the 2 others, one was a Metro police officer for 17 years. And then the other one was a detective. Now, think about the characteristics of a police officer. Their paperwork is impeccable, has to be. They know the areas like the back of their hand because they drive all over town. And they face and meet and talk to people all the time. And they have to keep everybody calm and handle crazy situations. And they have a presence about them of knowledge and strength. All 3 of them came into it and hit the ground running. And what was interesting, the female agent, I think she was at 4 million, like within the first 4 months of this year in sales.
Oh, wow. It's probably more than she made all of last year.
They're all fantastic. So that was an interesting field that they came over. Obviously we've had top sales in another field come over because and in sales, they were commission based over there. So they know, and plugging into our system, they know they have to do their follow-up. They have to communicate. They have to talk to people. And then,
Deborah, on that, in regards to that, how many contacts or conversations do you tell your agents that they should be having on a daily basis?
I mean, they've got to be making, 20 to 30 calls a day. I mean, that's just, at least 10, no less than 10, but they got to be picking up the phone. They got to be calling and talking to people, making calls.
20's got to be like the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to close.
Sometimes people get so busy. I say at least set aside some time and make at least 10. I mean, 10. You can,
Even if it's 1 hour a day.
I don't know, 1 hour a day. You can
I always say like dedicate 2, but and if you're real busy, at least 1, because otherwise what happens? 60 days later,
yeah. Zero
closings, right?
Yep.
So it's always keeping that pipeline full. Even if you have opportunity, like at your firm, you still have to follow up on it.
Yep.
It doesn't happen through just leaving a text message.
Yep.
So it's constantly following up. I just read something.
And being current on the market too, looking at your hot sheets, seeing anything new that's popping up. So then you can, because you know your clients, you know what they're looking for. And if something pops up, you're sending it to them because you may see it before they do. So again, that makes you look like the market expert. You're providing extra value, looking for coming soons, looking for anything that you know that's new on the market that they might be interested in. So
it sounds like in your market, you have to be like the first people there to see it. So that sends another thing of flexibility, being flexible, being nimble, being responsive, all things, which is interesting. I'm glad to hear about the police officers. I didn't know that.
And it was interesting because I wasn't sure, but then when you really think about the way they've worked for so many years and you plug them into a real estate transaction, they bring in a level of calm and the attention to detail, over communicate and know the areas, and then really keep everybody calm, and be very pro solution oriented. They're wonderful. I also see a lot of people coming from the service industry. Obviously, if you're used to working with the public and, because you making and having people be happy, especially like if you're in the service industry and restaurant, especially restaurant, you're assistant manager or something, you have people that come in, and if the kitchen's backed up, it's not the server's fault, it's the kitchen's fault, but the server's the face, the server's out there. So the server's getting the brunt of the negativity. So how do you handle that? What do you do to keep a customer happy? Also, if you're in the service industry, do you have people that come back and sit and ask for you and want to be with you? Because those kind of people, then the public likes them. And real estate's about you've got to have a level, the consumer has to like you and trust you and love you. So those type of people from the service industry, but then they have to have the management skills. They have to have the project management, the coordination, the attention to detail, and the paperwork side when you're first getting into the business, or you hire a really great admin assistant if you don't like to do paperwork, to make sure that your paperwork's okay. But you still have to write up the contract and negotiate. You have to be able to put yourself into the other side's shoes or your client's shoes and really internalize what are their important points. What is important to the seller? Is a flexible closing date, or is it top dollar? What are the things that the seller's looking for? So when you're talking to your buyer and then your buyer's current position, that you can submit an offer that's going to be accepted and be the one that wins and gets the deal. But then too, knowing what your client's needs are, what are the top needs that they want? So you try to see if you can get a win for all sides to get the deal to work. And then when you get in contract, you still have to negotiate through home inspection repairs. You still have to negotiate in the event that there's a low appraisal. And then you have to coordinate the week of closing. You've got final walkthroughs, you've got repair receipts, you've got utility transfers, you've got moving trucks. Our movers are so backed up, it's crazy. So if you don't close on the day you're scheduled to close and your movers are ready, and you've got to reschedule movers, and if you've got a family, 3-4 kids, and you're homeschooling, and you're virtual schooling because kids aren't back in school yet. These past couple of weeks, the stress levels that I've seen, an agent has to be able to manage those for everyone around them as well as themselves too.
Are your schools going back, Deborah?
This week they were going back, but they're doing, some are in school, some are hybriding, like they're 2 days in school, half the population 2 days in school, and then the other 2 days, the other half, and then they're virtual. So it's kind of interesting what everybody's doing.
It's very interesting, and it has to be challenging for everybody involved at this point.
Yeah.
And I think that
back in school? Is Philly back in school?
public is not going back.
Wow. No, our public are November.
Private schools though, as few that I am aware of right now, are going back.
They are.
Yes, in next end of August and right after Labor Day, depending.
Well, we had our agent onboarding, the 10 and 11 that were there this week. We actually, my training room holds about 80. So we just put one at each table. So social distancing, but we actually did it in person. And we're talking about, we really want to do our company meeting that we do once a month, but I don't think it's going to happen this month. I think we're going to stay virtual this month and then maybe look at September.
Let's see.
Everybody's really dying to get back and be around everybody. I did my broker breakfast. I do a broker breakfast every month with all the agents and staff in our company whose birthdays that month. So, and all the restaurants were closed and I couldn't have 10 people. So I did it at my house. I had everybody over on Tuesday.
Oh, that's nice.
August. So, and it was so great. I forgot how much I miss everybody.
Just seeing people
in person. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you do more work now?
Oh yeah, we're so busy. It's like, yeah.
But even outside of that, the fact of just outside of, being busy because you have more transactions, do you just feel like the industry requires more work now than ever?
Oh, absolutely. You've really got to stay on top of it. And again, it's follow-up, staying on top of it, and project managing, because it is from the time you start working with a client until you close and they either move in or move out. I mean, it's managing that whole process. And they look to you to guide them through that. So a good project manager that can talk to people and communicate effectively and negotiate, the sky's the limit. The
sky's the limit. That's hard to find that.
And that's the beauty of real estate and being a real estate agent, is that, and it's an evergreen. It builds year after year. The longer you're in it, the more people the more opportunity and success you have. So it's having patience and doing those things consistently over time. And I look at the 20-year-olds and I think, wow, the sky's the, if you're laying the groundwork to be a great agent right now, what a career you can have in this business. And there's nobody telling you you're only going to make $60,000 this year, Maria. It's how much you want to put into it, but you could make $250,000. You can make $500,000. You build your business and you continue to touch that business and communicate with that business and continue to sell. People will become, you will be the trusted advisor, and that business will continue to come, because everybody needs a place to live. People will always be buying and selling houses, regardless. So even if the market goes down, and through COVID, we were prime examples through COVID with essential services. If they don't shut your business down and say you cannot do your business, or you can't buy a house right now, which is what happened in Pennsylvania. But for us, if you are good at what you do and you're the best in the business, you're providing the best service, no matter what is going on in the market, you're going to be selling.
You're going to be successful.
As long as they don't tell you can't sell. that would be the only, I can't.
And even then, look, you're just doing deals with FaceTime.
You still sold a couple when you couldn't.
We did have sales, and we also had taken a lot of new clients on.
Yeah.
So our listing inventory is pretty good. We have a lot of clients. I mean, and they're all in different parts of the pipeline, meaning they may still be in the build mode or under construction, renovation, or they're still prepping the house. Some people is 1 week, some is 0, and some is 3 months. I say it's your timeline, not mine.
Yeah.
So when you're ready, we're here. You're all signed up with us. So I don't rush people. It's up to them.
Yeah.
Of course we want them to, the quicker is sometimes better, but it's all up to the client and what they're looking for. So I know you're super busy, Debra, and I don't want to keep you much longer, but I do want to ask you, so from a standpoint of like education and like the best books, if somebody was coming on board with you, brand new, or even a couple years in the business, what are some of the like best books that you would say you have to read this? This is like
one of my favorites right now, Atomic Habits. I mean, that is just one of the best books out there. Trying to think. Oh gosh, I've read so many. Atomic Habits is really, and I've read that one numerous times because it really lays the groundwork for building good habits and finding ways to change bad habits into good habits.
I don't think I read that book.
Yeah, that one's great. Anything by John Maxwell, I love. He talks about leadership. He's got a daily leadership small video that comes out every morning. And he truly speaks to me. Grit is one of my other favorite books. I love the book by Angela Duckworth. That one, again, it's those micro commitments and sticking to it, being intentional about your business, and having grit and perseverance. Everybody saw Michael Phelps win all those gold medals, but nobody saw all those 5 a.m. swims in the pool. I mean, I think he swam around the world twice or something. I can't remember how many.
Something like that.
So, and how many people, how many failures people had before they had success. So, it's just staying at it, being constant. And then if you're having some challenges too, then also getting some outside feedback, because we do things repetitively too, because we know that's how you build mastery. You just continue to do over and over and over. And then sometimes too, though, we get into where we're doing something over and over and over, but we might not be doing it exactly the right way and with a few tweaks in there. And that's why being surrounded by good top producers or people around you that can look at how you're doing your business, and a good coach. I mean, you and I have one of the best in the business.
Tiny hinges swing big doors.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, Chef, right? I love it because, you can be doing and so into what you're doing, you don't really see that, hey, if I did a tweak here or a tweak here, how much better what we do could be. I think that's why I love the feedback loop. I don't know if you've incorporated that into your business or not. We've done it a couple times, and I've done it with agents. I've done it with employees. I've done it with leadership. And it's just seeing from their perspective, what is working that we're doing that they love, what is something that we're doing that's not working, and what is something that they would like to see us do. So, and getting that feedback kind of on a regular basis helps you kind of look at your business. So even at the single agent level, it's good to have somebody that you can go in there and talk to about what you're doing on a daily basis, and see if you make a tweak or two here or there, how much more business you could, or your life could be better. Or, hey, I'm doing this, but well, okay, if you make $100,000 a year and you work 40 hours a week, your average hourly rate is $50 an hour. You could hire an admin for $20 an hour to do whatever you're not good at or not want to do. And then you'd still be making $30 an hour on those hours. Or, you may end up having more hours to make more at 50. So those are some things, looking at your business and evaluating consistently is also big.
I think you have to do that at a minimum a quarterly basis.
Yeah.
It's hard to do in a month, but
the year, we, as our brokerage, our whole brokerage in November, everyone goes through business planning for 2021 or for the year ahead. And then actually Donovan, our director of development, just put out last week another, because COVID kind of shifted everything. So let's look at your business plan again and see what you can do over the next 6 months, because we've had to adjust and adapt because of COVID and make some changes there. So, but I think, yes, if you could do it quarterly, absolutely, at minimum twice a year.
Yeah, it helps to keep things moving. And then it's one little thing.
It is. And what's interesting too, and I tell my agents this all the time, you have to put it down on paper too, whatever your goals are, and really visualize those. The more you think about something, the more it can become reality. And subconsciously, you don't even really sometimes realize the things that you are doing are leading to that goal. I've got stuff surrounded in my bathroom and in my closet. I've got, wake up and hustle right sitting on my counter in my bathroom. And then, my closet, it's like, you can do anything, dream big. It's just a constant reminder that, I have to get up every day and get at it.
Do your best every day.
Every day.
Give it your best.
Yeah.
Because
with a servant heart, that's the other thing too. It's, if you don't focus so much on the money and focus on the client, the relationships, real estate's about relationships. And the more you focus on that and serving and the heart, the money follows, the money comes. And it's hard to do because, especially in real estate, when you're, it's like, if you don't get to that closing table, you may not be able to pay your mortgage. You've got family, you've got your kids, you've got to put food on the table. And so the money is very, very important, and it can consume you if that's what you're focused on. And sometimes it's letting go of that worry and stress and really focusing on the job that you're doing and the service you're providing, and finding solutions to get it to the closing table. Because if you stay focused on that and really think about that, then those are the things you're making happen. And if you make those things happen, the money is there.
Yeah.
The money comes.
The money will come.
The money will come.
It's act as if it's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
And who do you need to become as a person to go where you want to go?
Yep.
I think that's also really important to think about. And what behaviors do you need to add or to change or to remove in order to be that person?
Yeah.
And we're constantly evolving as humans and constantly learning and growing. And I love to see the growth of people. I love to see it. You help somebody in their business go to the next level for them, whatever that means. And just being a contributor and a collaborator, as you said, Debra, and it's probably one of the most important attributes to a successful business person, entrepreneur.
I think so too. And really, what is Simon Sinek's book, Why? Find Your Why? What is your why?
What is your why?
What is your why? And why do you do everything you do? Why do you get up in the morning? What is it that's driving you? And, and two, knowing that your why can change. It's been interesting now at my age, our age, happy birthday, by the way, this week.
Thank you.
How my why has evolved, and finding that and knowing that your why can evolve. I hit certain I had certain life goals and I hit them. I hit a bunch of them about 3 years ago. And then I had to re-look at and refine my why. So that was kind of an interesting, because your why can change and can evolve, especially then what do you do when you hit those goals and your whys and you've now gone beyond those? Then you've got to find what else.
Right. That's why it can't just be about money, because, in my experience, you say, oh, I want to do this. I want to make this. I want to make that. I want to make this. And then you go, wait a minute. This is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing's changed.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it's kind of,
that's so true. That's so true for an agent who's been in the business a long time, and you've gotten to a point, because that was it about 3 years ago. I mean, I really, I hit a lot of my life bucket list things that I wanted to do. And then I had to rethink of now what does the next 10 years look like, or 5 years look like? What are the things that what's my why now? And that was really interesting, because I hit a lot, and it was odd because I hit a lot of goals all in 1 year, a lot. So,
and that could actually lead people to become depressed.
Yeah. Oh, because you have to research. Yeah. Because everything that was driving you.
Yeah. Then you're there.
You're done. Well,
and then you're like,
interesting, but it's interesting because if you look at top athletes, and I don't know if you were on Sunday's call, if you weren't, you have to go back in Sheps and listen to Heath Evans. So Super Bowl champ, he was with the New Orleans Saints. He was with the Seattle Seahawks. He was with the New England Patriots. And that's what, we're going on 3 years as the number one Remax team in the world. So you can't let off the gas. I mean, you've got to keep, you've got to keep growing and to maintain. Because
it's
once
harder to stay there,
that harder, the top level. I mean, it is hard to stay at the top, and that's where those whys, you have to be able to continue to be grounded into what's motivating you and keeping you focused and utilizing those resources around you to keep going. Well, this is a heavy morning today, Friday.
I know. That's because you are being the solution, Deborah. You are. I love you. You're the best.
All right.
It's fun. It's fun times. I love talking to you about business because you've achieved so much, and I really admire you and everything that you've done. And I'm really happy for you and Gary and the whole team, and congratulate you on your continued success and all the great things to come. I know you have so much more to do and so many more things to see, and I can't wait till we're all together in person.
Yep.
Like in person.
I know. I'm ready for that.
I know you're used to like traveling too, like you get conferences, speaking.
This is killing me. We have a trip planned for Labor Day. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. We had our plane tickets and everything bought, and United yesterday they were changing flights and stuff. And
where's that?
We're going to go to Mexico
okay.
Get out. Go to there's a house that we've stayed at before that we're going to rent down, and it's, so
you should go.
It has its own private beach. So it's if we can get into the country and get back out on United, which we bought plane tickets, but then yesterday they said they were, the flying back into the States was getting changed. So I'm not sure. But anyway, Maria, you are such an inspiration and a true leader in this business. I love that you do this every week and put this out there, and you just always reach out, and I love you to pieces. I think you're one of the best Remax broker owners over there, and if anybody is looking to work in Philly, they need to give you a call if they're ready to work and grind, because you are the best in the business.
We're grinding. It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate that, Deborah. It's very kind of you to say that. Yeah. And I truly cannot wait for us all to be together. I'm like, I'm about to like be in tears because it's so emotional. It's like, yes, we can Zoom everywhere,
but it's not the same.
But it's not the same.
And
And
I found that out this week with having more people over at our training center and everything. I didn't realize truly how much I missed the actual in-person interaction. Because you and I, we're on Zooms all the time, and we're talking to people, but literally there's an energy of that just comes from people and being around them. And I know myself now, I thrive on that. I actually flourish with that, and just getting in the car and driving to the office and being around people energizes me more so than sitting here in my office at a desk and talking on a Zoom. So
yeah, it's good to be around people. Well,
really,
I'm thankful and grateful and appreciative
right?
of
So,
you.
so let me
And
know. And yeah, we need. Chef says he's trying to put a little thing
yeah,
together.
well, we'll see.
All
Let
right.
me know.
All right.
I will talk with you soon and continue with all the great successes. God
Thank
bless.
you. Awesome, Maria. Bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.